My name is Mitkas. I'm the rector of Aristotle University of Thessaloniki and an electrical engineer myself. This European Energy Union is a fine goal that will certainly generate an abundance of jobs and also an abundance of technological challenges and problems. Will you have enough scientists and engineers? Do you expect that you will need more, and if yes, in what specialties? It would be nice to know.
And thank you very much to Rector for his question, because I think it's a very important one, because we are now in the situation where we have still millions of young people, very often educated at very good universities, who are very intelligent but extremely frustrated, because unfortunately they have chosen the field where they're experts, but where they cannot find the job on the labor market. And it's enormous waste of European talent, and I think it's enormous frustration of intelligent young people who then turn to the simple solution, to different protest votes and to anti-establishment feelings. That's a pity, because I'm sure they would like to channel their energy to something which is positive, but they can find the feeling of self-fulfillment. And I think, therefore, we need to discuss what, even more often with our member states and within the member states, because if it comes to education, that's very much in the hands of the governments. What would be the professions of the future? And I can tell you, when I visit the universities which deal with the clean tech, which are of technical origin, which are working with energy transition, economic transformation, which are in the field of data economy or informatics. So when I ask the director, so what is the employability of your students? So they're telling me that it's 100%, and we can even place on the market even more, because there is enormous interest in this field. So I think that if it comes to all the professions which I described, they're clearly the professions of the future, and I think that it would be extremely useful for European economy and for our young generation if we can introduce some requalification courses, even for those who already graduate, just to give them the opportunities to benefit from these new tendencies. Because in the future, most of the products the companies would sell would be based on data mining, would be produced on customized service, would be produced on I would say instant demand, and that's what I think it's very natural for the young generation, because I call them digital natives. It's much easier for them to handle all the smartphones and computers. I mean, at least if I have any problem with my iPhone, I know that my 15-year-old son will fix it much faster than me.
Watch yourself, right?
Yes, but I'm still struggling with that. It's my Christmas present, and therefore I think that we I think should try to motivate our educational establishment how to offer those who are struggling on the labor market the second opportunities to develop this new specialization. And usually, as we know from all the big inventors, the people who come from different educational backgrounds, with different experiences, are the most creative and are biggest asset to any creative teams, and that would be the chance for all those who studied something which they like, but within which they cannot find a job, with the demand which we clearly have here, because the last figure I would mention is that if it comes to the IT, we would miss like 1 million IT experts between now and the end of this decade, and I think it's better to develop that workforce here in Europe than to look for the talents outside our continent. Thank you.